Sign up for the free WagerTalk text club to gain access to free plays and exclusive discounts. Just text WagerTalk to 33222 to sign up and get a $10 coupon to use on WagerTalk.com.
Hey guys, welcome in and happy Wednesday to you. It is time to talk about the association, the NBA tip-off show powered by WagerTalk.com. Pretty cool card we got here tonight. Some intriguing matchups. And of course, we'll take a look and figure out if there are some edges to be had tonight. We'll do it with the three of our favorites here as we welcome back a few familiar faces, including Tony Mejia, right in the number one spot up top there. I feel this is like a rerun of the Brady Bunch. Right in the middle there is Jan. No, I'm sorry, it's Teddy Covers. He's hanging out with us, as is Kevin Dolan, still awake on the other side of the globe here, hanging out with you. Gentlemen, welcome in. Mejia, I know you are locked and loaded here tonight as college basketball has 70 games, I believe, tonight. The NBA's got a great card. What do you got locked and loaded at WagerTalk?
It's a really large card, so you're going to get a lot of those games in. Have some preferences in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. I guess I'm playing Homer because I really like UCF against Auburn. I think they could win that outright, and it's kind of scary that they're a double-digit underdog. They've actually beaten the Tigers consecutive years. But NBA-wise, had a great 7-2 night last night, 4-1 on player props, most of them in that Memphis Grizzlies game. And only the Kings ruined my night because I really liked that over, even with no LeBron James against the Lakers. Lakers took a while to get going, but once they did, Sacramento didn't join them, so we didn't hit the high side there. But 5% play did come in yesterday, so that was great in the Purdue FSU game. So finished 7-1 in November on 5% plays, and looking forward to a much better December because outside of my 5% plays, my November wasn't so hot. But moving forward, although sports still in play, we're looking forward to postseason college football and more NBA.
All right, love it. Yeah, Florida State could have played that game 3 times. They weren't beaten Purdue last night there. Teddy Covers, welcome in. Guys, make sure you're checking Teddy out not only at WagerTalk.com, but also SportsMemo.com. Welcome back in here. Teddy, what's been going on? What's locked and loaded for us over there?
We've got a single best bet winner in the NBA for tonight. I've got a single best bet winner in college hoops for tonight, and the college football card almost locked and loaded. I haven't posted my 5% big ticket yet, but I'm about to after the show. So NBA, college hoops, college foot's all locked and loaded. And NFL report, NFL's been running real good of late. Will be posted, as always, by Friday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Love it. Big 5% winner in Cincinnati over the weekend. Congratulations, Teddy. Continuing to roll in the profits there. Make sure you guys check him out. Sports Memo, WagerTalk.com, as well as Kevin Dolan. Dolan, what's going on here? I heard you moving to Dallas, or do you just pick them every show, or is it Orlando? It's a toss-up with you, my man. Welcome back. What's going on? What's locked and loaded for us tonight?
Yeah, I've narrowed it down between New Orleans and Orlando. one of those two destinations. I'm definitely going there. But everything's going really well right now. A little 16-6 run right now over the weekend. We were on that Lakers Kings under that Tony mentioned previously. Nice little winner there. Actually, 4-0 night last night right across the board. Had some big soccer winners as well. EPL midweek cards. So we got an NBA best bet side winner locked up for tonight. 36.19 and run on those. We've got a $200 off NBA season coupon to give out Friday as well. So stay tuned for that over on my Twitter page for that code. Actually ranked as the number one NBA handicapper over the last 365 days in all December 1st, 2020. So pretty happy with that. Just like my boy Conor McGregor coming over the Atlantic, taking all the belts. So just need to keep it going now, and hopefully we give out a few winners in today's show as well.
All right, guys. Well, let's dive in, and no better place to start, of course, than our contrarian game and play of the day. Cash it with the Memphis Grizzlies last night, taking care of business, winning outright against Toronto. And tonight, we're going to take a look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, getting 4.5 right now on the road, visiting the Washington Wizards. The question mark, of course, here, Anthony Edwards is still listed as questionable. I haven't seen anything otherwise than that. But listen, we know Minnesota's been on a bit of a tear here, right? 7 wins, 8 games. Start a little road trip here. What do we think, Tony Mejia? Are you willing to say, the T-Wolves can continue rolling here, take the 4.5 tonight?
No, because they have that flu bug going around the team. Jared Vanderbilt is questionable. You mentioned Anthony Edwards, and they've covered 7 of the last 9, and have won a lot of those games as well. So you're absolutely right on them being on a tear. But Jaden McDaniels is ruled out with the flu. I mentioned Vanderbilt and Anthony Edwards questionable. So unless we get definitive word on those guys, I want no part of Minnesota with just D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns against the Wizards team that continues to play well together. Bradley Beal, after a win last week, said he's got the on switch on full blast now because he was trying to be nice and cater to all his new teammates and make sure they got off comfortably. And he did a really good job with that, being more of a distributor than being an aggressive scorer. And obviously it worked out for Washington, which got off to one of the best starts in the entire NBA. But now that those guys have gotten acclimated to their surroundings, Bradley Beal wants to be Bradley Beal again. So we should see a solid effort out of him. And without Anthony Edwards to pester him on the defensive end, Josh Okogie, I guess, would be there too. I think he could have a big night. So I do not like Minnesota in this spot if so many players are injured. Ill.
Line 2, contrarian gods. No, I'm only kidding. All right, Teddy Covers. It hasn't been a great stretch here, certainly not for backers of Washington. 2-6 in their last 8 against the number, and they've been getting torched from the outside, from the perimeter, and that's where Minnesota takes a lot of their shots. So what do you think here tonight?
Heck yeah, I'll play contrarian in this game. And I'm going to start with this are the Wizards any good? All right, this is a team that got off to a hot start. Everything went right for them early on. They're 3-5 straight up, 2-6 their last 8 games, but we're still thinking that this is this Washington team that is the team that got off to that hot start. They're playing sub 500 basketball of late. All right. Davis Bertans, ice cold. Tony just talked about Beal and Beal's comfort level. I mean, everything from Beal is down this year, way down from where it was. Shooting percentage, scoring percent, points per game. The distribution isn't there. His quotes, we know the biggest adjustment with a new team, a new system is always going to be offense. You're getting used to new things, new plays, a new system. Washington offensively right now is choppy. And, for all the, struggles that Minnesota had early on, they've been the better team for the better part of the last couple of weeks. I'll take the points with Minnesota. And again, let's not forget, none of these guys have been ruled out. Noel, Edwards, Vanderbilt, all questionable still for tonight. I wouldn't be surprised. You know how the flu is. You jack somebody up, you give them a bunch of intravenous fluids, and they end up playing. I wouldn't be surprised if some or all of those guys end up suiting up for the T-Wolves tonight. Minnesota might well be the better team.
All right, good stuff there. Check one for the contrarian side. How about it, Kev? We don't have New Orleans in here. We don't have Dallas. We got Minnesota, Washington, and which way are you going to lean here, my friend?
I might have to start swerving this segment of Sujo, the contrarian. I just can't nail it for the life of me. Actually, I think it was Dave Copen made an excellent point in one of the shows a couple of weeks ago. He said, if you don't have an opinion on a game, just come out and see it instead of waffling on for 5 minutes this side or that side, or this could happen or whatever. So I printed off this earlier.
Oh, no. He's bringing his own Swiss flag.
I'm going to bring out the Swiss passport. I don't know what's going to happen in this game, but I'm happy to say the contrarian play.
You got Swissed. All right, he's out. Swiss it is. We're moving on here. Featured game number 1. And, guys, T-Wolves, 4.5 is the contrarian play of the day. Let's move on to our featured matchup. And, boy, oh, boy. This has come down a long way. We got some news. We got all sorts of things happening around the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Miami Heat. It opened at 7.5. It's not anywhere near that now. I'm seeing 3.5s maybe even a 3 or 2 out there as the money continues to roll in on Cleveland. The news, of course, Bam Adebayo out 4 to 6 weeks, having thumb surgery, screwed it all up there in that last game. So, wow, that's a big drop off here. 204.5 as the total. And if I'm not mistaken, that was bet up a little bit to 206, Teddy. So here we go again. We've seen this how many times, Teddy? The overreaction to news regarding a player here or there. I mean, that's nearly a 4-point drop here. Do you agree with it?
Yeah, in this instance, I do, because I like Cleveland to begin with. And a plus 7.5, I was, that's the only way I could get involved in the game, is to look at a Cavs team that continues game in, game out. The quotes are positive. The chemistry is positive. They continue to be feisty underdogs. They continue to win games outright in this road dog roll. And again, now 4 straight covers for the Cavs during this latest hot point spread stretch. And again, they're playing good basketball. The quotes out of this team, uniformly positive. Started the road trip with a double-digit win at Dallas. And Miami's having some defensive issues. They certainly did against Denver the other night where they couldn't get a stop if their life depended on it. And this isn't a 1 guy out. This is a 2 guys out. All right, when you talk about Butler and Bam, that's the 2 best players in the team. That's a significant loss. And it's not like the Heat are playing good ball. 1-4 ATS their last 5, failing repeatedly as favorites during that span. All 4 point spread failures came in the chalk roll. No surprise here if they lose this one outright. It's Cavs or pass. For this better, the money's coming on Cleveland for a reason.
Yeah, it's been inching that way altogether. Now, Bam, we know, is out. Tyler Hero probable here, Kev. Butler's still questionable with a tailbone injury. It still remains to be seen. But how do you look at this game right now?
I quite like the under here, Joe. In fairness, I was on Denver on Monday night when the Nuggets beat the Heat. I like the spot in that one for the Nuggets. The Heat returned home off that 4-game road trip. They came off that win against Chicago with 5 guys all in double-digit scoring as well. But this isn't that spot tonight. I would agree with Teddy on the side. And I think we see a bit of a bounce back from Miami here. Though on defense, even though I would lean to Cleveland, plus the points on home court tonight. This Heat team has been dominant defensively all year at the FTX. Bar Denver's win on Monday night. Only Utah have eclipsed 100 points here all season. So I kind of expect that to return to form here defensively for Miami. On top of that, we got a Cleveland team on the other side who, they absolutely blew the doors off Dallas last time out, led by 31 points in that one. Ended up winning by 18. But, 56.3% field goal percentage for the Cavs in that one, 52.6% from 3-point range as well. There's just no way they're going to hit those kind of numbers again here tonight. This is a Cavaliers team that averages just 33.6% from downtown. So, slightly into the Cavs on the side here. But, with Butler and Hero and Bam out, Hero probable questionable still, though. I just think that likely regression to Cleveland shooting tonight, we'll see an under cash here.
All right, looking at an under. What a difference Mobley makes, huh? Tony Mejia, what a couple of games out. He comes back, and it's like watching a different team. But before we knew any of the health, were you shocked that this line got bet up like it did right off the start?
You mean it started
total.
At 7.5?
The total. Yeah, the total. No, the total from the 204.5 to 206.5.
I kind of agree with that line move because Miami's going to have to be a different team now moving forward. I mean, Dwayne Dedmon's going to step into the starting lineup for Adebayo, and he'll give you second chance points. He'll fight you in the paint, but not the defender that Bam is. And if Jimmy doesn't go, then you've got another pest out of the lineup. So what Miami will have to do is ride Gabe Vincent, who's been in the mix, Max Strus, and really gun from the perimeter. Hope that Duncan Robinson can get out of his season-long funk. They welcome Hero back. He'll play catalyst, off the bench while Lowry does it with the starting 5, and they'll play a lot of small ball. I don't think they go to Omer Yurtseven. I think he'll be a factor over the next 6 weeks, but probably not tonight. We'll see. I mean, the Cavs have Jared Allen and Mobley that the Heat will have to match up with But I think they'll end up going small, which means Cleveland will have the run of play in the paint, and Miami will try to beat them from the perimeter. And I think we will see points in this game. I think Miami's going to come out resilient, hoping that they can send a message that they'll be able to survive this without Bam. For that reason alone, we might see Jimmy Butler if his tailbone is feeling better. And it's a situation for Miami where this will be, the last home game that they have for the next week, and then they'll come back and play 3 more. But they're going out to Indiana, out to Nemesis, Milwaukee, and they've already been on the road for 9 of the last 11. So it's a team that at this point needs to figure some things out to stay afloat for the next 6 weeks. And Cleveland, now that they're healthy again, it's all systems go to being one of the surprise teams in the league this year.
Yeah, they are certainly fun to watch too, as well. But if Jimmy doesn't go, who else is going to help Tyler Hero score points for Miami? That's going to be the big question here. All right, guys, Miami Heat, Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to switch over to our overtime matchup. We'll take a look at a total on the board, and well, it's the highest total on the board, so let's look at it here as the Charlotte Hornets heading over to Milwaukee to take on the healthier Bucks. Opened up at 230. I'm seeing 231 now. It has been a hell of a run here for the Milwaukee Bucks, much closer to what we were used to seeing last year here, Kevin Dolan, with the three-headed monster healthy and ready to go. Is it an over or not situation for you in this game?
I mean, it is a high total, Joe, but I'd probably still have to look over here in fairness. You look at Milwaukee's last 5 score lines, 117, 123, 114, 120, 118. They're averaging 118.4 points per game across that run, and all against better defenses than what they'll face tonight against Charlotte. On top of being ranked 28th on defensive efficiency this season, Charlotte are 29th in opponent 3-point percentage over the last 3 starts as well. They've allowed 42.1% 3-point shooting against Minnesota, Houston, and Chicago, respectively. None of those teams make as many 3-pointers per game as Milwaukee does. The Bucks average 14.5 outside buckets per game this season. So I just don't see if Milwaukee get hot here, or indeed if Charlotte do. They're the number 1 3-point percentage team in the league this season after all. Where the defense, kind of comes from tonight. The final point I'll make in regards to this game is Milwaukee shooting from outside against Indiana last time out. The Bucks averaged just 22.9% from beyond the arc on that one, 3rd lowest in the league overall. And over 13% lower than their season average as well this year. So, if the Bucks get anywhere near back to parity in terms of shooting here, I think it could be a long night for Charlotte tonight, and kind of gets this number up and over the total with a bit of room to spare. So yeah, lean to the over for me on this one between the Hornets and the Bucks.
So averaging about 114 a game, Teddy, is what the Bucks are during this winning streak of theirs, which I think goes back 8 games, somewhere in that ballpark. They're a little healthier, and unfortunately, I don't think Plumlee's going right, and I do believe Cody Martin is still questionable for Charlotte. So that's a real small ball lineup there against that 3-headed monster of Milwaukee. Is it over or not for you?
So I had the over on my short list last night, and I talked myself out of it. I did not play the over, and as the total ticks up, I'm not going to get to the window with the under. Okay, I'm not getting there, but the case can be made for the under. Let's start. All right, I know that both these teams are flying offensively of late, but defensively, Milwaukee's been really good. Okay, not just media. I mean, they've been really good over the last 2 weeks or so. If you watch them play, you see the difference. They struggled without Brook Lopez for a long time. But what have they done of late? Let's see. They give up 102, 89, 108, 92, 93, 109, and 100 over the last 2 weeks. I mean, that's solid defensively game after game. Nobody's shooting lights out against the Bucks right now. And then I ran into this quote from James Borrego talking about Charlotte's recent defensive struggles. I mean, obviously, our offense is fine. It's the defensive end. That's the problem. We've got to figure it out together. It's a long season. There's some good teams we're playing. Obviously disappointed last game against Houston. Disappointed in our defense. We just got to correct it. So you have to expect there's going to be an emphasis on the defensive side of the football, basketball for Charlotte, as well as for Milwaukee. So even given the offensive efficiency of these two teams and the capability that either squad can hang 130 in any game, it was on the short list, and the more work I did in the game, the less I liked the over. Lean under in this one.
So, well, we know they can score there, Tony Mejia. Charlotte can. And now the question is, to Teddy's point here, do you think we see a bigger effort defensively here tonight, or is it just over or not for you?
Yeah, I mean, you can give a better defensive effort, but are you really going to stop Giannis without Plumlee to protect the paint? It really becomes a situation where they're going to have to outscore teams. And that's really what they've been doing, so it fits with their comfort zone. P.J. Washington is filling the void with Plumlee out now that he's healthy, and he'll pull people out to the perimeter, try to take you off the dribble, try to create mismatches. Him and Miles Bridges, essentially have a very similar game, and they're going small. And you go with Hayward and Lonzo Ball to try to generate mismatches on the wing, and I think you're running. The Bucks are 3-0 to the under in games where their total is 230 or higher. So from that standpoint, they're the team that really can buckle down and rain on the over parade here because they do have the defensive chops to get it done. But I think this is a game where we'll get a 70-point quarter between the two of these. And will that be enough to get us up over 230? 230 isn't really a number that we've been dealing with this season. It's it's been mostly 226, 227s when it's a high scoring game is expected. Last year this would have been 242, something like that. So from the standpoint of the Hornets have settled into this rhythm without Plumlee, where the last three games have featured 249 or more points in all three of them. I think that they're going to go ahead and push tempo in Milwaukee to try to hang around. And Giannis has been so efficient. I don't see him being stopped in the paint. This is over or bust for me. And I probably would just go high side as a client play. So long as you expect that they'll continue to hum along offensively, averaging well over 125 points a game over the last three. And one other thing is that Milwaukee, during this stretch where they've dominated teams and have held a lot of them under 100, they've been playing garbage. The Thunder, the Magic twice, the Pistons, the Nuggets without most of their roster. Indiana last game out without Miles Turner. So I think Charlotte at this point at least is the best offensive team they've seen in weeks.
So if you guys think the offense comes fast and often early, 118.5 is the total in the first half. If you guys are interested and expecting points, and a lot of them early in that matchup. All right, well, there we go. It is time. I hear the dogs barking, Robert. What do we got?
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
All right. Well, we got a few of them here tonight to choose from. Let's check them out. The T-Wolves are a dog, as are the Hawks, the Magic, the 76ers, the Cavs, Pelicans. Oh, Pelicans. I heard you. Rockets, Hornets, and Kings here. All dogs. So the question is, which one of these dogs will they look to make their own? And Teddy, I'm coming to you first, man. Which one of these dogs might you want to take here tonight?
I'll take a look at Hotlanta plus the points or plus the 1.5 in Indiana. Let's start with this. The Hawks are the better team catching points. All right. I don't think there's any question at this stage that the Hawks are better than the Pacers. The Pacers continue to find a way to drop close games. They dropped another one against Minnesota last time out. Doesn't look like they're going to have Miles Turner again this evening. And again, Indiana defensively with and without Turner, night and day. A low post shot blocker versus no low post shot blocker makes all the difference. And Atlanta, this is a team that's been horrible on the road. Horrible on the road for extended stretches this season. What happened their last road trip? One straight up in San Antonio going away, one straight up in Memphis going away, and then came home and laid an egg against the Knicks. It's the perfect opportunity to jump right back on that Hawks train, catching points as they head back on the highway here in a game where they're the better of the two teams. Give me Atlanta plus 1.5. Forget the plus 1.5. Take them on the money.
Boom! All right, there you go. Atlanta is Teddy's dog here. Talk to me, Kevin Dolan. I know where you're going. Where are you going here tonight on the card, my man? What's your dog here?
Is there any doubt, Joe? Come on, man. Orlando +8. It has to be Orlando +8. Look, I said in Monday's show that the Orlando Magic, one of my favorite teams when catching the breaks bet. Choose them as my best bet in that show. And I'll come right back and take them tonight as my dog play as well. I was on Denver, as I said, on Monday night against Miami. That was a great spot for the Nuggets in that one, but this is a lot less so, in my opinion. And with Cole Anthony expected to turn back tonight for the Magic, even if it is in a limited capacity, I think it's a bit too many points here to be given the Dogs. So, give me the Magic plus the points at home again here tonight against Denver as the dog play of the night.
Love that. Love it, love it, love it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what we say here, Kev. Go with it, the Orlando Magic. All right, Mejia. If it ain't Orlando, who you going with?
Well, we'll go ahead and just put it out there and install the jinx, but I'm perfect on that's
Yes,
my
you
dog
are.
segment. 4-0, I believe, maybe 5-0. I lose track. We're going with the New Orleans Pelicans because the Dallas Mavericks have really been struggling of late. It looks like Kristaps Porzingis will play tonight, but they just got Jalen Brunson back. He looked rusty. Our friend Luka Doncic hopefully will have to deal with Josh Hart a little bit because the Hart is questionable. That is the one thing that I'm worried about here. He's got some knee soreness to deal with. But if Hart is in there, his activity will be an asset for New Orleans, as will Herbert Jones, the rookie out of Alabama, who is one of the better defenders already in this league. The energy that he gives New Orleans is really been a difference maker, and he'll get some Doncic duty as well. At this point, look, Dallas has lost 5 of 6. Jason Kidd has had no answers for a tough situation where he's playing the Suns on consecutive games. Then he played the Clippers, and then the other night the Cavs just destroyed them 114-96. They were never in that game. Whereas New Orleans has really found a little bit of a niche to get comfortable with. Split 2 road games against the Utah Jazz. Won the first one and they got destroyed in the second one. That was predictable. And then the other night with Jonas Valanciunas hitting 7 3-pointers by the time mid-second quarter rolled around, they blew out the Clippers. So playing well, giving New Orleans plus the points at home. Also, this is New Orleans' only home game in a stretch of 6 games. So to take advantage.
If it ain't broke, don't. I'm glad you brought up the streak because I wasn't jinxing it. So I'm glad you brought it up. But yes, Tony's been rolling with his dogs here on the show, guys. And that leaves us, of course, 9 games on the board. It is best bet time. So, Kevin Dolan, we're coming to you to start with. 60 seconds on the clock. Which one of these games might you be leaning towards a little more than the others?
Yeah, and I'll say quickly too, Joe, just don't forget to tune into that my Twitter page on Friday at the Sports Wolf 83. We're going to give out that 200 season NBA discount we got going on. Release that around 10 a.m. So great time to jump on board. In terms of a best bet, I mentioned on Monday's show actually that this is a spot I'd potentially be interested in taking, and it's on the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight minus the short number at home against the Houston Rockets. Sorry, Robert, sorry. These home and home situations, I find them to be really profitable sometimes. A lot of overreaction usually to what went on in the game before. In OKC were just abysmal last time out against the Rockets, 35.6% for the field. That was one of the worst in the league on its own. Just 7 of 43 from downtown as well, 16.3%. Like no one else even came close to shooting that badly last time out. So I'd be surprised if we don't see a much better effort from the Thunder here tonight and a win and cover in the process. So yeah, Thunder for me tonight at home, minus the 2.5, best bet.
Yeah, I don't think Robert has enjoyed a buzzer as much as he's enjoyed that one in a long time there. All right, Teddy. Talk to us, my friend. 60 seconds on the clock. Which one of these games you're looking at?
Let's talk about Denver and Orlando. I'm going to look for this game to stay under the total. We're looking at what? 208s now, 207.5. You can still find 208s out there. Looking at that WagerTalk live odds screen, and that's the number that I would look for if I was going to play this game under the total, which I've already done. But it's real simple. All right, Denver just came off a game with Jokic got back. They shot lights out. They hit everything against Miami the other night. All right, that's not likely to happen 2 games in a row. I expect their shooting to come back to earth a little bit here. Orlando is tied for 29th in terms of offensive efficiency, and they've got injuries all over the place right now. It doesn't help with Suggs out. It doesn't help with several of their scores. And, of course, they just got Bamba back, which gives them the low post defense that we look for. So put it all together. I'm not expecting a fast pace. I'm not expecting great offensive efficiency for either team, and I'm looking for the Nuggets and Magic to stay under the total.
Love it. Under it is. 7 o'clock Eastern time tip, guys. Nuggets and the Magic. And Tony Mejia, it is your turn, my friend. 9 games on the board, 60 seconds on the clock. Which one you leaning towards?
All right, give me those points with the Philadelphia 76ers in Boston. It looks like the Sixers are finally healthy. All these kids that have been really playing, to try to keep this team afloat, now have to share responsibilities with Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris. The big dogs are back to eat, but they really gained confidence. Tyrese Maxey and Shake Milton, Birkin Gorkmaz. I think that all of those guys, that depth, will come and shine through. From the Celtics standpoint, this is their only home game in a 7-game stretch. They go on the road now. Next stop, Utah. Then they'll play Portland, Lakers and Clippers, and the Suns. So that's a really grueling stretch. And I think they'll want to rest Jaylen Brown some. He came back, and they've got him on a minutes restriction. So I anticipate that he will play tonight, but he's clearly not himself. Boston's still trying to figure some things out. Give me the Philadelphia 76ers to win outright, getting points in Boston.
Taking the points with the Sixers with Embiid and company in Boston. All right, guys, just to recap once again, taking a look here across the board, Tony Mejia, his dog is the Pelicans tonight, getting 3.5. He does like the Sixers, getting a couple of points against the Celtics. Teddy is going with the Hawks. Give me the Hawks plus 1.5 and the under Nuggets and Magic, while Kevin Dolan, he's looking at the Magic to make him his dog here, plus 8. And the Thunder, Thunder laying the 2.5 against the Houston Rockets. A little get even here. And, of course, the contrarian play of the day, focusing on the Minnesota Timberwolves against the Washington Wizards, taking the 4.5. And don't forget, guys, of course, loaded card here tonight. Actually, all week, best bets are locked and loaded for these guys. Tony Mejia, Teddy Covers, and, of course, Kevin Dolan, guys. They are locked and loaded. So the opportunity is real simple. Just head over to WagerTalk.com, visit Tony Mejia, visit Kevin Dolan. You can also catch Teddy over at SportsMemo.com. They told you guys, best bets are locked and loaded. College football this week. Getting ready. They are up and they are ready to go. Get them while you can now over at WagerTalk.com. And, of course, on behalf of Tony Mejia, Teddy Covers, and Kevin Dolan, guys, we certainly appreciate you hanging with us here. Hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. Make plans to come back and join us again tomorrow. Same time as we do it all over again here on the NBA Tip-Off Show. In the meantime, best of luck with your plays, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
With the WagerTalk one-day power pass, you receive every play from every betting consultant for one day at the ridiculously discounted price of just $1.99. What's better than one day of great games? Watching, following, and winning those games. Get your sportsbook edge with the entire WagerTalk team of handicappers with this one-day power pass, every WagerTalk expert in every game they release for just one day. Your WagerTalk one-day power pass is right here, and it's yours for just $1.99.